From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN Noon News.
Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us on the Noon News. I'm Diane Parker. Miller has our forecast, plus a house is intentionally set on fire in Great Falls with a woman inside. But first, our top story. Breaking this noon, a vintage World War II aircraft crashed near Hamilton this morning, killing the pilot. Authorities say he was the only person on board the P-40 aircraft, one of only 14 in the United States. The Ravalli County Sheriff says the victim is a man from the Hamilton area. The plane reportedly crashed shortly after taking off from the Hamilton airport. It went down on Stock Farm Club property. Progress is being made as crews continue cleaning up Saturday's 17-car train derailment and bridge collapse into the Yellowstone River. MTN's Haley Monaco reports.
It's been 3 days since 17 train cars derailed and a bridge collapsed into the Yellowstone River. You can see that progress is being made on cleanup as train cars have already been removed from the rails.
Tragic, concerned, first off, want to make sure no one was injured or killed or anything.
News spread across the country Saturday morning after a coal train was thrown into the Yellowstone River and it's hit residents of Tiny Reed Point hard.
The nature and wildlife and the impact it's going to have on it because of, a train dumping into the river.
Jerry Bixel owns the Waterhole Saloon and Steakhouse in Reed Point, just down the road from the derailment.
We're proud to have such a excellent bunch of people around that are working on this problem.
The video playing now is from Saturday, shortly after the derailment. Now, compare that to this video from Monday. 10 cars remain in the water, 2 of which are fully submerged. That's the focus of a joint statement Monday from Montana Rail Link and government agencies, saying, quote, the condition of these cars, including the 2 that are submerged, is a key unknown in the plan to remove them from the water. A dive team has arrived on scene to gather more information about the situation below the surface. Meanwhile, the waterhole has been a place many of the people working to clean up the derailment stop for lunch and dinner.
It was one of our best Saturday nights so far, or Saturday day and night so far.
They tend to come in about 5 to 20 apiece.
A small town joint feeding crews working to fix a big time incident.
This is a huge impact to not just the community, but the whole region and state. And I'd just like everybody to just, have patience. We'll get through this.
In Stillwater County, Haley Monaco, MTN News.
Despite assurances from the MRL that the bridge was safe, Montana U.S. House Representative Matt Rosendale admits seeing it fail has him concerned. He's not alone. We reached out to the director of the Montana Infrastructure Coalition, who believes the state's railway system could use serious updates.
This generation didn't build this infrastructure. It was built post-World War II. And we've not significantly invested in our transportation infrastructure across the country.
But I think that we have to keep continuous vigilance in inspecting and monitoring our infrastructure, because that is the role of the federal government, to make sure that we can have commerce between the states.
Rosendale says MRL's president told him improvements were made to the bridge as recently as last year. The Environmental Protection Agency is investigating allegations that its own members may have tried to discredit or even intimidate scientists who produce studies showing elevated health risks in Butte due to mining contamination. Environmental engineer and former Montana Tech student Stacy Peterson tells MTN EPA officials tried to block her dissertation because it cited increased mortality rates in Butte. EPA officials say they're taking the allegations seriously and have referred the matter to the Office of the Inspector General.
Well, I mean, it was very strong pushback. They said that they would stop my dissertation and me from graduating. They definitely tried to attack my credibility, my professional status, everything they could do.
It destroys trust in EPA, because if it's true, and it needs to be fully investigated, but if these charges are true, they border actually on the criminal, and EPA needs to, one, take this seriously and then respond in a meaningful way.
Senator Jon Tester says he supports the investigation into the allegations, adding in a statement, quote, "I will hold anyone accountable to ensure this community receives answers and will continue to fight for the cleanup the folks in Butte deserve." Montana House Majority Leader Sue Vinton from Billings is now the fourth Montana Republican lawmaker to receive a threatening letter covered in white powder in the mail. Now, she immediately turned that letter over to law enforcement, and the substance inside turned out to be flour. But the ongoing issue is concerning nonetheless. House Speaker Matt Regier and Representatives Neil Durham and Rhonda Knudsen were also targets.
I would say to be vigilant. Be careful and take things seriously. I know our first reaction is to say, oh, it's probably nothing. And thankfully, it wasn't anything serious.
Vinton's letter had a Kansas City postmark. More than 100 lawmakers in Kansas received similar letters this month, as did several in Tennessee. A Montana Republican is officially challenging Jon Tester in the 2024 U.S. Senate race. Tim Sheehy is a retired Navy SEAL and CEO of Bridger Aerospace based in Belgrade. He says he plans to, quote, bring a new generation of strong conservative leadership and common sense solutions to fix our nation's problems. Tester is seeking re-election and a fourth term in the Senate. Authorities in Great Falls say an early morning house fire Monday was intentionally set with a woman inside the home. It happened in the 1400 block of 14th Street South. Great Falls Fire Rescue has obtained video of someone setting that fire and is working with Great Falls Police to identify that person. The woman inside escaped without injury, but the home is a total loss. A member of the Flathead homeless community is dead, and 2 men are charged with deliberate homicide. This after Kalispell police responded to reports of an assault early Sunday morning. When they arrived, they found a man with significant injuries. The victim was taken to Logan Health, where he later died. He was identified as 60-year-old Scott Bryan. 2 teens, 18-year-old Willie Meeker of Summers and 19-year-old Caleb Fleck of Kalispell, were arrested in connection with his death.
This is a very sad day for our community. We can confirm that it was a homeless community member who lost their life. And in times like this, what I want to talk about is community. The homeless community is a very strong community. It's very inspiring how they take care of each other. And I want to encourage our overall community to understand and to remember who we are as a community. And our motto is we take care of each other in the Flathead. And I still believe that that is very, very true because we value every life. Every life. We value every life.
Kalispell police say this is an ongoing investigation.